It's the JB Show, and it's your life by design.
So I want to wrap up this way. And those of you who know me, who've been following what I've been doing over the last couple of several years, know how passionate I am about this country. Some people are calling and everybody will tell you, say we care. But not everybody care the same way. Exactly. So for some people, the care is a calling, and I believe for me, caring about this country is a calling. That's what informed everything that I've done over the years, whether it's touching individual lives or getting involved in national issues. You've watched an interview I did with the late Solomon Bangura. That interview, every election it comes again, and each party they use them for whatever reason. Because the message there that was clear by them, the late Solomon Bangura, I said to him, why you not call you SLPP party then say you say you lost the election with 24 hours earlier you had been told you're winning this election. He said, if I've been called them and they say no, what did that before do? He said not to plan before for on this war not before end and all of those things. He had a lot of things, but he made one statement to him was very important. He said for him being president was not a matter of life and death. Prior to Solomon Bangura interview, I did interviews with Alpha Wuri, Professor Dr. Alpha Wuri, and also did with Beshekano. Both SLPP, APC, they've been in power for a while, long time, in various ministries. Power left them, they had life outside politics, so their approach to politics was different. It wasn't a matter of life and death. Alpha Wuri went back to in business where they do, Hassan Beshekano went back to insurance company. Now, the problem is bigger than politics, not to APC now, problem, not to SLPP now, problem. I'll say it over again and over and over, and then the older I get, the bolder I get to say this, because I think I don't earn the right as a citizen of this country. I'll be celebrating my 60th birthday, in 11 months, and so say I don't big pass me for about 6 years. So I don't big pass me for about 6 years, and so I would say this to you: the problem not to politics, the problem not to SLPP, the problem not to APC. The problem is human. Now, what am I problem we get? Now, we factory setting, and what do I mean? What this means is that scarcity of resources not enough. I put the story how if you get a job with 5 people for apply, 10 people apply for a job and a one position there, the individuals at the level and then they begin to blabber. We mean say you get me certificate, that means say we can compete equally. And for them to get an edge, we have for now look but who that we know now that office day. When a family we can call for every for them to get a job. So what was just a job where one person apply for don't become family problem. That family they look for that, that family they look for that, not family against family. And so job then be big enough where they go beyond family. And where ethnics now the ethnicity now. Okay, now me country man. Now me country man. So that's they talk the same language. So what we call so it don't move from the individual level to family level now the ethnicity, and how this country divided northwest and southeast big time now this country, and so the individual blabber now don't turn ethnic blabber. If the job is big enough, it's sometimes go next politics. Sure. Because once you go to politics, you get 2 big political parties who don't run this country from independence, where it means it don't become a political problem. It's not politics at all. Individual problem, scarcity. Now we individual for self-interest and the first rule of life now self-preservation. Now it informs every decision we take. It informs every decision that I make. Now in my self-interest, now you have what is called enlightened self-interest. With the enlightened self-interest, they say it gets to a point in time where if we all fight for our own self-interest, we all be lost. So enlightened self-interest, they say, how can we live and let's live? How can we make sure what we're doing now benefits everybody, not just me? And that if I do anything that will help me but will destroy the common good, I should pull back. That's enlightened self-interest. That's what is lacking. Not to APC, not to SLPP, not a problem. Go back to independence. I've said over and over again. Change the party there so then call one Mighty Blackpool, call the other party Sierra Leone, we would have been at the same level, the same position. Because in terms of politics, this backstory I don't give, because I'm so therefore, if I will share my heart in this Independence Day, 65th Independence Anniversary, we have to step back. That means, there have been discussions in the recent past when I before like, how do we share more of the resources in this country at the political level? At the constitutional level, embedded in our constitution, we will say, we will talk about winner takes all, not for continuing at this country. If the party will win, now in get chance for appoint everybody from the intention of whatever done. Then elections will always be intention of this country because the other party will say, if you say a loss, it's about survival. I tell you, not a party business or now individual level. Now we individual level, now we. And then a survival. So therefore, once we create more opportunity for make the resources go round. So for example, if one party get 55%, the other party get 45%, they're able to make sure say it splits resources. Waiting they go for education. Now we region. Waiting they go for it should be determined outside in the constitution whether it doesn't matter whether in a state house those things get implemented. If you get to the level where we can do that, then what will happen? We get more position for make we fight for the country advance. I give an example where if no matter within election, whether win or not win presidency, we know say we will still have budget for one stuff now we own region of the country. The tension don't reduce so. In fact, the plan not the day in a free turn again at State House, the plan are we regions because now they the resources they go and therefore now different plan are not to we and another tribesman now we to reserve and development can be monitored. I'll give you another example where the stake in the country where we get for first for it's much more robust. So, for example, you don't see beside them a political party, the one within opposition, then they gladly if things they go bad because it give them campaign material.
Yeah.
And then they don't everything to undermine the government within a power. But imagine if you get 55% responsibility and then just even resources, forget about resources, then they get 45% resources, the opposition will have a stake in the results of the country. So therefore, they would be more willing for compromise with government and say, no, this is not right, let's work together. But if somebody do that now, by the time you go for Manchester person, in political affiliation, they kick him together because it's really about one against the other. I want to repeat again. What could help us? What will help us as a nation? We don't have political problem, we don't have party problem, we have individual problems. Now individual problems, now we go, now we say everyone for compete, they form alliances, we they shape whether a family alliance, ethnic alliance, or political alliance. Now we all the former now it make this country difficult for govern. We cannot have real political independence if we don't have economic independence. We got the flag, but we don't have the real freedom yet. It's still work in progress unless we can come together and build the economic independence. So once again, on behalf of my family, on behalf of every organizations that I'm involved with, and that I've supported, that I've worked with, and still continue to work with, and the cash box where in the cash box where they understand this interview. I'd like to say to every Sierra Leonean, happy Independence Anniversary. We can still make our country work. We can still make our country work. We have to build economic independence. We have to stop blaming other political parties because I'm saying this so no matter who that you put in a status, no matter who that you put in a power in this country, if the dynamics, the individual dynamics were explained, might not be the same, it will be the same, the same result. I swear. I mean, a pastor, they say pastor not for swear, I swear. If this dynamics not change, it doesn't matter who that in a power in this country. Now the same musical chair no more we go to talk about because once you sit on a power, now you people enforce in a village, now then they begin call you, now you turn on. Don't forget yourself. And because this man was in a 5 years no more, therefore we nothing happen. And again a business I go the power. But if realize that no matter what will happen, if we reach 45% and believe me, get to party, then we always get above 40%. And so if that 40% say they equate to resources that they can also control, the plumber, you know the trends like this, then they get some plumber, they sell bond deals. We're not in a paranormal, they sell bond deals. But if you go to state, we say that on bond deals. So I keep going over and over this again, but this is a word I offer share to every Sierra Leonean. Happy independence. We country can be better, but that responsibility then I will all earn. Happy independence anniversary to we all.
This is the JB Show, and it's your life by design.